Still in the early stages of conference play in the college basketball season, and Tennessee basketball has done something this year that has never been done in program history. Hey, it's Lucas Panzica from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. So the Vols went 1-1 last week with a blowout loss at Florida, followed up by a win at Texas against the Longhorns. The loss against Florida is the first of the season for Tennessee, so it dropped them from the number 1 spot in the AP poll, 5 spots down to number 6. And it ended a 5-week stretch for Tennessee as the number 1 ranked team in college basketball. That is the longest stretch in program history. In fact, the Vols have been ranked in the AP poll in the top 25 for 70 straight rankings, and at least since the start of the 2021-22 season. Those 70 straight rankings, that's the third longest active streak in the country. It speaks to what Rick Barnes has done for this basketball program, not only making Tennessee relevant again in men's basketball, but establishing a standard that Tennessee is one of the best teams consistently in the country. The Vols do have SEC titles under their belt under Rick Barnes, and obviously the next step is to continue to make deep runs in March that can match or exceed last year's run to the Elite Eight when Tennessee lost to Purdue, falling short of their first ever Final Four. So Tennessee falls to the number 6 team in the country, and they are replaced by the Auburn Tigers, who are the new number 1. And look, the blowout loss at Florida was tough to swallow. A 30-point loss. They were able to bounce back nicely with a 74-70 win at Texas, Rick Barnes' former program, but what we have learned so far in the SEC slate is that it is going to be an absolute bloodbath in the Southeastern Conference. It is the best conference in all of college basketball on the men's side from top to bottom. And this season, it's not particularly close. So yes, Tennessee's time as the number 1 team in the country comes to an end. Tennessee's time as the only undefeated team left in men's basketball also comes to an end, but it was always going to happen, and Tennessee lets it happen on the road against a top 10 Florida team. The way the game went is what makes it a tough pill to swallow, but Tennessee had played so well through the first 14 games of the season, they just had a night where there was a lid on the basket. The Vols made a total of 12 shots in that game against Florida. It just wasn't falling for them. And sometimes that's just the way that it goes. The Vols bounced back nicely against Texas and now got to gear up for another tough stretch run. There's not going to be a week off in the SEC this season. In all likelihood, Tennessee's going to catch a few more losses. But that loss to Florida did end that 5-week stretch, which marks the best in program history.